Hey everybody, it's Marie, and I am the Everyday Mother, bringing you yet another Mother Myth Buster. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how progress is such an important thing in motherhood. Talk about this in my free 15-minute video on mothermyths.com. If you haven't watched it in its entirety, I would tell you to go do so now and then come back and watch this one because it's going to make so much more sense if you've already watched that video. So anyways, as we talk about, progress is so important in motherhood. So what do you do when you feel like you're not making any progress? I don't know about you, but for me, I have these days that are like I take huge leaps and bounds as a person or as a mother or just in learning something new. Sometimes it's a whole day, sometimes it's a whole week, sometimes it's only 5 minutes. Whatever length of time I am granted to take these huge leaps and bounds, I feel awesome. I feel like I've mastered something new. I feel like $1,000,000. I feel like I'm on fire. Ready to go, can take on the world, right? But then, not long after, however long that has been, not long after that, I hit a wall, and I hit it hard. And then all of a sudden I feel completely lost. And sometimes I feel like I'm not making any progress. And I feel like when I'm in those moments, I feel like maybe I won't make any more progress. Maybe that's as far as I will go. Now, in my head, I know that's not true, but that's what it feels like at that time. This is totally true for motherhood. There are times I feel like I'm an awesome mother. I've learned a ton. I'm doing great. And then there are times I feel like I'm not making any progress whatsoever. I feel like I'm not doing any good. So then I go, well, what is the point? What's the point? If I'm not making any progress, if I'm not doing any good in these children's lives, what's the point? Sometimes you follow blindly and you don't know why. And then afterwards, you're given this huge blessing or this huge reward. So yesterday, we had a little experience with that. My daughter had gotten a huge spider bite, and she's really allergic to bugs of all kinds. It's just ridiculous. And with her, sometimes you can never tell if she's being over dramatic, and you never know when you go to the doctor if they're just going to be like, you know what, she's fine, there's nothing we can do about it, just take her home. She didn't have a fever, she had nothing else, but this bite was looking pretty bad. So we decided to follow our instincts and take her to the doctor. Sure enough, they got to the doctor and they told her it was really infected. She needed 2 shots of antibiotics on top of the antibiotics they were going to give her. And they said they were super glad that we brought her in. So we were grateful for that, and we thought, okay, we're just going to go on our way. Not long after that, my husband had taken her to go get a snow cone. They got out of the car, and he walked over to get her out, and she gets out, and she says, you know what, I feel really dizzy. Right when she says that, she faints, passes out, and stops breathing for about 20 seconds. And my husband's an EMT. He's a firefighter. He sees this all the time. But he started freaking out. She turned blue. He didn't know what to do. He was about to start CPR. He was about to call an ambulance. It was the scary thing, right? Can you picture that for your own child? Anyways, not long after, her body restarted on its own. She started breathing. She came back to. So my husband rushed her to the hospital, and she was still a little blue when she got there. Now, the reason I'm relating this story is, well, we didn't know why we had to take her to the doctor for her bug bite. We weren't sure if they could do anything, but we did it anyways. If we had not gone through all of this, I would hate to think what could have happened. I would just hate to think it was the infection that she was facing that we had no idea was so bad. But we were in a position to help her because we followed those instincts. Sometimes we don't know why we're doing things, even when it feels like we're not making any progress, even when it feels like maybe there's nothing at the end of it. We continue to do it anyways. Now, when we think about motherhood, we think, you know what, we know we're making a difference in these kids' lives. And logically, you can think that. But sometimes looking at your life in that moment, you don't feel like you're making any progress. But I promise you, if you just keep going, if you just keep taking those steps every day, forward and forward and forward, sometimes you get a moment. Sometimes it's more than a moment, but sometimes it's only a moment where you get to glimpse what this is all about. Sometimes it's just a thank you from the kids. Sometimes it's just them hugging you and loving you. Sometimes it's a bigger glimpse of how important motherhood really is and what it would be like if you weren't getting to experience that. I promise you, behind every single wall, if you continue to push through it, there is progress. And you will make those big leaps and bounds again, and then you will hit a wall again. I promise you that as well. You will hit a wall again, and then you'll progress, and then you'll hit a wall, and then you'll progress. But that's the best thing about it, is that when you push through those walls, that's when the progress means even more. So I'd love to hear more about how you feel like you progress at mothermythsprogress.com, or even tell me about the times when you feel like you hit those walls. I'd love to hear all about the best mommy breakthroughs and the best mommy breakdowns. mothermythsprogress.com. Can't wait to see you there. This is Marie, signing off.